Adjust this camera. And I think I'm on the, actually I'm on the 8th day of my journey. I'm on the 8th day of my journey. I'm doing the Lewis and Clark to Oregon. The first day I stopped in Orlando, visited Mary Jane, my sister. Then I went up to Gainesville, see an old buddy, had a stroke, and visited with him for a while, spent the night. And then off to Atlanta, spent the night with Chris's place, played golf with Chris. And then Birmingham, Memphis, St. Louis, west from St. Louis to Kansas City. And that's where I started this Lewis and Clark trip, taking the Lewis and Clark scenic tour, if you will, trying to recreate as much of the original track as possible. Of course, basically, Lewis and Clark took the Missouri River as far as it would take them, and then once they got to the headwaters, why they found other streams. They found the Snake River, and they eventually found the Columbia, and eventually got to Oregon. So on this trip, I'm staying as close as possible to the rivers that Lewis and Clark got to Oregon. The whole thing was started by Thomas Jefferson, who was behind the Louisiana Purchase, which basically they purchased from France the claim to all the lands that were drained into the Missouri River. Of course, they had no idea what that entailed. It was just, a lot of land out there. And so they commissioned Lewis and Clark. Lewis actually was a secretary, I believe, of Thomas Jefferson. So he gave him a bag of money and said, go get it done. And Clark was an Army officer who had been his commanding officer at a certain time. So he hires Clark. They get like 35 or 40 guys, settle down in Missouri, get ready, and head west. All kinds of adventures, obviously. By the Indians saying, hey, what are you guys doing? Well, we're just checking out the land and all that stuff. I don't think so, said some of the Indians, and there were skirmishes, and they had various other adventures. And of course, at the time, they had no idea what they would find, what wild animals would be out here, what strange plant life they would encounter, nothing. They'd be overrun by buffaloes, what have you. And although the far west coast, the coast of now Oregon, Washington, California, was fairly well known by the Europeans. There had been some discoveries in there. They had no clue what laid in between. So the discovery, quote unquote, of the Pacific Ocean via this route took place in 1804 in a place called Astoria, Oregon, where there's a bluff where the first time they could see the Pacific Ocean, and that is my goal, to be there. And following that, I'll go down to California and do some camping and visit some friends, and then head back east to good old sunny South Florida. So, wish me luck. Here we go. Bye-bye.